Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of News Where's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. We're going to get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are continuing to slide downward this morning, with S&P futures down 0.44%, Dow futures down 0.57%, and NASDAQ futures down 0.35%. Global stocks have dropped for a second day, led by U.S. markets, which have tumbled due to concern about more economic shutdowns becoming necessary to contain the Delta variant. Among catalysts for the pessimism includes New Zealand having discovered a positive case and thus announcing a lockdown for the entire country. In light of recent news, the dollar has strengthened and Treasury yields have slid lower. Gold has moved higher for a fifth day and oil declined. Amid the many negatives, including the risk of stimulus tapering, regulatory clampdowns by China, and travel curbs, the next market-moving catalyst and clues as to the upcoming monetary policy will come later today when Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks at a town hall. Over in Europe, stocks headed for a second day of retreat, with shares closely tied to economic activity like retail, travel, and cars and banks coming out with the biggest losses. Over in Asia, markets closed at the lowest level this year. Chinese tech shares tumbled after a regulator released draft rules banning unfair competition amongst China's online platform operators. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
You know, Shane, I've been watching the S&Ps, and they're ugly this morning. They're down 0.43%. You look over in Europe. Europe's only down slightly. Which is a positive, because I was expecting them to be down even more. But you look at what happened in Asia last night, and the Shanghai Composite's down 2%. The Hang Seng was down 1.66%, and Japan's Nikkei index was down as well, although just minor, 0.36%. You know, that's making me nervous for the day. I mean, we have a lot of catalysts going on today. We have that retail sales report that's due out 1 hour before the market opens. That's not going to be positive. They're expecting that to be a little bit weak due to the car sales over the past month. You look at the industrial production. That's a report that's coming out 15 minutes before the market opens. That report is supposed to be positive, which I'm hoping will be in the catalyst to stop this market from tripping over itself. But, you know, China did that 2% sell-off because of the regulators. They're really stepping up the tech scrutiny over rules of unfair competition and access to critical data. This could affect firms like Nike, because Nike is a big internet firm in China. So Nike's on caution. It's on watch for me today. I do expect the markets to continue to see some selling pressure throughout the day. You know, and I think that you're going to see people move over to more defensive names. But it's going to be about the earnings this afternoon. But right now, it's all about what happened last night over in Asia.
Moving into earnings to watch, let's go ahead and talk about the earnings we've seen come in so far. Monday.com looked like a winner. Bill, tell us about it.
Yeah, Money.com did good. They really did. They beat by 74 cents on higher revenue. You have Walmart. Walmart beat by 22 cents. They did this on higher revenue. They raised guidance, yet the stock is trading off this morning. It just seems odd. I look at the Home Depot. You know, as we've noted on this show many times, Home Depot can release great earnings, but the stock doesn't hold. Sure enough, Home Depot came in with a beat of 10 cents. They did it on higher revenue, but there was a little bit of a concern over the same store sales, which did not meet analysts' expectations. You look at shares of Home Depot this morning, and they're trading off 3.15%. So all in all, you know, the earnings, weren't bad, but, you know, the market is reacting negatively to them.
Let's talk about upcoming earning announcements. Bill, what are we seeing there?
Oh, we got a lot of good companies coming out with earnings this afternoon. We got this Jack Henry, which is ticker JKHY, John Kilo, Henry Yellow. They're releasing this afternoon. The estimates are 92 cents, and the expected move there is 4.92%. We have Krispy Kreme, the donut makers. That's ticker DNUT, David, Nancy, under Tom. The EPS estimate there is 13 cents. The expected move there is 11.78%. Krispy Kreme's has been selling off since its IPO. I'm not a big fan. Lazy Boy, that's ticker LZB, Larry Zebra Boy. Their EPS estimate is 56 cents, and the expected move there is 7%. And then Wednesday morning, Target, ticker TGT, Tom Grace Tom. Their EPS expected is $3.49, and the expected move there is 5.24%. Lowe's, their EPS is $4, and the expected move there is 4.68% when they release tomorrow morning. TJ Maxx, this is an interesting one. Their EPS estimate is 56 cents, and the expected move there is 3.92%. So we got a lot of good earnings coming out today and tomorrow. One that I'm going to watch closely is Brinker International, which is ticker EAT, Ellis Apple Tom. Their EPS estimate is for $1.70, and the expected move there is 8.78%. I'm really looking to see if they have any signals of inflationary pressures coming into their earnings when they release tomorrow morning.
Moving into our economic reports, we have quite a few today. Bill, tell us about them.
Oh yeah, we have 8:30. At 8:30, which is 1 hour before the market opens, we have the retail sales reports at 8:55 a.m. Eastern time. We have the Johnson Red Book on retail sales at 9:15 a.m., 15 minutes before the market opens. We have a report on industrial production. At 10 a.m., we have business inventories, and we also have the housing market index being released. Later today, there's some Fed speak. Jerome Powell will be doing a town hall. He's going to be speaking to some educators and students at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be watched to see if he talks about it or gives any insights into the upcoming Federal Reserve meeting that's happening at the end of the month. At 3:45, we have Minneapolis Fed Bank Chairman Neil Kashkari. He's going to be speaking. Kashkari switched from being, very easy money policy to start saying, hey, if this job market continues to behave the way it is, we're going to have to start introducing the tapering earlier than expected. So he's switching from a dove to a hawk. So his speech today at 3:45 p.m. Eastern time will be watched closely.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on SpaceX. Elon Musk believes that his company, SpaceX, is close to fulfilling his dream of orbital and interplanetary expeditions and will be able to perform its journey in weeks. So Musk said in a tweet last Saturday that the first orbital stack of Starship would be ready to take off within weeks, pending only regulatory approval. According to sources, Musk's plan is to fly a Japanese billionaire around the moon in 2023 while making space travel more mainstream and cheap. News on KKR, ticker KKR. The company has agreed to sell a 14.5 million square foot portfolio of industrial property to Canadian real estate investment company Oxford Properties for $2.2 billion. KKR's share price is down 0.61% in pre-market. News on Beijing, ticker BGNE. The company announced that China National Medical Products Administration has granted its treatment for neuroblastoma approval for use on patients 12 months and older in China. Beijing's share price is down 0.2% in pre-market. News on Roblox, ticker RBLX. Like had mentioned, yesterday they missed guidance, so shares have dropped more than 6% today in pre-market. And yesterday, also, the company acquired Gilded, which is a chat app designed for gaming communities. Elsewhere on the tape, Bristol Myers, ticker BMY, has received MAA validation from the European Medicine Agency for use of Opdivo with Yervoy in treatment of esophageal carcinoma. The treatment now enters the EMA's centralized review process, and Bristol Myers' share price is down 0.36% in pre-market. News on Stanley Black & Decker, ticker SWK, has agreed to acquire the remaining 80% ownership of MTD Holdings, an outdoor power equipment and gardening tool manufacturer, for $1.6 billion. In other news, Philip Morris, ticker PM, has launched Ecos Illuma in Japan, a smoke-free tobacco heating system, so an alternative to cigarettes. Philip Morris share price is down 0.38% in pre-market. News on Insight, ticker INCY. Insight has entered into a collaboration and license agreement with a unit of Hong Kong's InnoCare for the development of a new monoclonal antibody in Greater China. Insight share price is up 0.47% in pre-market. Lastly, for me, Pfizer, ticker PFE, and BioNTech, ticker BNTX, have submitted phase 1 data to the FDA to support the evaluation of a third or a booster dose of their COVID-19 vaccine for future licensure. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific sector-based alerts and to specific event-based alerts. That way, when the news hits into these alerts, I can react quicker and get in the price action before real movement starts to occur. I look at my FANG alert every morning and I see Facebook. Facebook said that it's going to back 2 new underwater cable projects, one in Africa, one in Asia, and in collaboration with Google. I see Microsoft is getting ready to start their operations at a Taiwan Azure data center in the second half of next year. Apple is likely to announce new models sometime next month. I see that Wedbush is looking at did some recent supply chain checks on these phones, and they think that demand is going to be very strong for this new so-called iPhone 13 model. Going over to my Dow Jones 30 alert, I see that Cisco is about to show investors how the networking giant has dealt with increasing component costs amid the global chip shortage when their earnings come out tomorrow. Honeywell, I see that Honeywell announced that it has completed a $1 billion offering of 1.1% senior notes that are due in 2027. Nike, as I said earlier, they're on watch as China regulators are really cracking down on internet service firms. And Intel CEO is going to hold a conference call today, and he's going to provide his perspective on the semiconductor landscape and what's turning points Intel has made later today at 12 noon. In terms of the options market, the airlines are really on watch due to the volatility, and the volatility is really on the low side. American Airlines, that's ticker AAL, the 30-day option implied volatility is at 48 compared to a 52-week range of 40 to 117. Delta, the 30-day option implied volatility is at 39 compared to its 52-week range of 32 to 83. And one of the main reasons why these airlines are on watch today is because of Spirit Airlines. It's ticker SAVE, Sam, Apple, Victor, Edward. They came out when they reduced their guidance for the next quarter. They cut third quarter guidance picture to 885 million to 955 million. Previously, it was 1.0 billion to 1.1 billion. So that's a big drop off for Spirit Airlines. And that drop in bookings, the cancellations that they've received, that could very well be likely to be an industry-wide problem, which is why you got to put the airlines on watch right now. Another company that gave guidance recently was Global E Online. That's ticker GLBE, Grace, Larry, Boy, Edward. They raised their Q3 guidance picture to $54.4 million to $56.3 million. The estimates out there were at 48.4 million. So that's a big positive. But that's what I'm seeing today in terms of the news events, Shane.
Well, let's talk about our Trade Talk picks for today. I'm picking NVIDIA, ticker NVDA. This is an earnings play. Their EPS estimate is $1.02 after market close Wednesday. The focus will likely once again be on the company's data center sales. In NVIDIA's last earnings report, CEO Jensen Huang stressed that demand for its data center GPU was strengthening, and analysts expect server chip sales to rise more than 30% from the year ago quarter. So that's another $2.27 billion record. So there's a lot of optimism going into earnings for NVIDIA. So I can expect this one to go higher into the market today. It's down a little bit right now, but I can expect it to get a little raise from this. And I see it doing well for earnings tomorrow. So that's my pick. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
Well, I'm going with Walmart, ticker WMT. They delivered a 22-cent beat. They did it on higher revenue. They raised guidance. The only weakness, if you want to call it weakness, was their online sales. I suspect that, I really thought the price was going to, stay at that, 149 level. I just see that it ticked up to the 150.75. But if it trades at that, 148.50 to 149 level, I'm going to be buying. Overall, I look at these Walmart numbers and they really measured up, and the expectations were really high and they delivered a nice strong beat. So I'm I'm hoping that the stock dips a little more in the morning and for a nice recovery this afternoon. But that's my pick for today. Walmart, ticker WMT, William Michael Tom.
Well, let's move into what's hot off the press. So the news that's hitting the tape as we speak, moving the stocks today. Let's go ahead and get into it. Bill, what are some headlines we should let traders know about?
Let's talk about Oracle. That's ticker ORCL. Oracle's working with Burger King and Church's Fried Chicken on their cloud data.
Cantaloupe, ticker CTLP, is acquiring micro-market payments company Yoke Payments.
Walmart expects grocery market shares gains to continue in Q3. PepsiCo, that's ticker PEP, they expect to be net water positive.
Jacobs, ticker J, has just won a $235 million contract from the U.S. Army Intelligence and Security Command.
Ticker GIS, Grace India Sam, General Mills, they're going to be using some new data to launch a new line called Good is Good Enough. Ticker FLT, Frank, Larry, Tom, Drone Delivery Canada signs a collaboration deal with a Canadian firm for military applications.
Eli Lilly, ticker LLY, has said its biomedicine segment will split into two business units. So they have Lilly Neuroscience and Lilly Immunology.
Jack Henry, that's ticker JKHY, John Kilo, Henry Yellow. Kessler Federal Credit Union moves to Jack Henry's private cloud.
Here's a little follow-up to one we spoke about yesterday. BHP and Woodside Petroleum, ticker WOPEY, and BHP was ticker BHP. They're combining their oil and gas portfolios in an all-stock merger.
Brokerage report on American Express says credit card review showing positive credit trends and higher payment rates continue.
Volta Charging, ticker VLTA, has announced a new station installation in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing today, Shane.
Same here. So that's what's hot off the press. Traders, you can receive the same breaking stories we do simply by subscribing at newswire.com. Check us out. Get a free trial. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Monday. I had Home Depot, ticker HD, which opened at $330.71 and went as high as $335.59 just before the close for a 1.47% gain. Just like we talked about, stock took a hit this morning, but that's why we said get the gains where you can see them, get out before that close, because Home Depot has that tendency to, even though they do well in their earnings, to end up going lower for their share price. So this was a good move on our part by getting the gains before that time. So pretty good move for us. How'd yours end up doing, Bill?
I did Elgiant, that's ticker A as in Apple. Stock opened up at $159.39. It hit a high of $162.96, which was a nice gain, and that's like it's almost a 2% gain. And then the stock closed at $162.07, which was 1.68% gain on the day. Earnings are out this afternoon, so I wouldn't be surprised if it trades a little weaker today, but jumps once they release earnings this afternoon.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.